Now on Coast TV News.
Street squeeze, parked cars sparking debate in Milton. Some say it's a safety hazard, others think it's helping to control speeding drivers. Rollout roadblock. Delaware's legal marijuana launch is delayed. Why background checks aren't done. And tracking tool. Investigators reveal a key system was turned off before last week's plane crash near the nation's capital. It's raising new questions about air safety.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Drivers blocking roads to stop speeders? Controversial tactic or a safety solution? Good evening. I'm Christina D. Robertus. Welcome to Coast TV News at 11 on this Friday night. We begin tonight on Atlantic Street in Milton. That's the street you can see right here on your screen right now, and lately some cars have been parking here. Now, it's worth noting it is not illegal to park there. There's no signs or yellow lines saying that you can't, but the people who have been doing it say they're doing it to slow down speeding drivers coming from both directions. But some people think it's only making things more dangerous. Live in Milton tonight is Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy. Brendan, what's the scene on Atlantic Street right now?
Christina, if you take a look at Atlantic Street, you'll notice it's very narrow. That's one of the biggest problems. And like you said, it's not illegal to park on Atlantic Street, but once people do, it creates almost a blockade. That car that's sitting there makes it hard for the other cars to go around it as they approach an intersection. And that is making some people who use Atlantic Street very, very worried for their well-being. Cars parked in the streets, sparking concern and slowing traffic. That has been the case for Atlantic Street these past few weeks.
It makes people want to slow down.
It just kind of seems like a accident waiting to happen.
Lindsay Kansky has 4 children, all under the age of 10. She says both the speeding and stopped cars make it dangerous for families.
I would find it really, unsafe to be driving up with my children and have to decide in the last minute if I need to go around a car at an intersection or why is it parked there, It'd be nice to just create a environment where everybody can drive safely and be outside safely.
On the other hand, Nathaniel Grudzian, who drives on Atlantic Street nearly every day, told Coast TV he thinks it could actually help to combat the speeding drivers.
I think having cars on the street can, one, be nice for slowing down traffic. I would probably say let the cars there. I think the place also needs more parking in general, and if they're willing to park over there, then why not?
If you take a look at Atlantic Street behind me, you'll see that the cars that are hugging that yellow line, the car really only extends out to where those cracked lines are, meaning there's only a very small space for any other car to pass by. And if they do have to, they're usually going into that other lane, which is a big part of what's making people concerned. Milton Mayor John Collier proposed prohibiting parking on Atlantic Street at the February 3rd Milton Council meeting, but that proposal failed. There are no cars on the road right now, but when I spoke to the lady who lives in the house down the street, she told me that if you're here around 7:30, 8, 8:30, any of those early morning times, you can expect to see the whole street packed with cars. So if you're driving down Atlantic Street this weekend, be sure to keep an eye out. Live in Milton, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Brendan. And like we mentioned, those who have been parking on the street say they're doing it to stop speeding. And it's not the only attempt they've made at addressing the issue. The Milton couple created a website called Milton Speeders, posting videos of people driving fast down Atlantic Street, but the website has since been taken down. New tonight, according to the Delaware Cannabis Advocacy Network, Delaware's legal marijuana rollout is facing some major delays. At a recent meeting, former Commissioner Rob Koop revealed that background checks for new businesses are still not done. He resigned shortly after that. Now, a spokesperson for the Advocacy Network says the FBI has not approved background checks for new cannabis businesses, even though medical dispensaries are cleared. Advocates are concerned that these delays could give established businesses an advantage while new ones are stuck waiting. Well, restaurants are a major part of the economy here on the coast, and for servers working in restaurants, there's some new protections from the state of Delaware to ensure that credit card processing fees don't get taken out of their tip money. Coast TV News anchor and reporter Brandon Ferguson shows us how some servers on the coast feel about the change.
Servers in Delaware will now take home every dollar they earn in tips. I feel that the businesses should absorb the cost of the processing fees.
The Delaware Department of Labor determined that taking away credit card processing fees from servers' tips is illegal. The ruling comes after multiple complaints and an investigation that confirmed the practice violates state labor laws. Brian Elliott is a server at Geo's and says he never had to deal with the issue, as Geo's never saddled servers with those fees to begin with. But for those that have or do, he thinks the answer is simple.
You just raise your prices. I mean, raise the price on your food if you want to get an extra 3%. Raise your, and what's the big deal with raising your price 3%?
Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings said this in relation to those credit card processing fees with servers. The vast majority of servers rely on tips as their primary compensation. With the cost of living on the rise, those funds matter more than ever. For people like Carl Dagenhart, who goes out to dinner a lot around here, he says this change is the right call.
It's a gratitude for good service, and I feel that they deserve that.
With this new ruling to protect servers here in the first state, a tip is a tip, no deductions, no exceptions. In Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
And this story here brings us right to our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you think restaurants should cover credit card fees. Let's take a look at the results. We've been seeing the same answer pretty much all day. Pretty much everyone saying yes, restaurants should cover the fees. Just a few saying only for tips or only for big bills. But if you don't agree with the majority, you can still vote. It's not too late. Just go over to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Now we're looking live outside into Ocean City, and our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams is going to join us with a first check on the weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Christina, and we are bracing ourselves for another yellow alert day for Saturday. We're looking out for a chance of some freezing rain as well as some sleet moving into our neck of the woods. Currently, though, that's not the case. Our Hershey's exterior camera in Ocean City holding at 40 degrees right now. We're going to drop down to freezing by 3 o'clock with partly to mostly cloudy skies. We have winter weather advisories in effect near the Milford area for Kent County, not quite for Sussex, but we're in the same general vicinity. Coming up, we'll talk more about this possibility, but for now, back to you.
Thanks, Paul. A proposed housing development called Town Lakes looking to make its way to Millsboro. It would go right off Handy Road in Millsboro, and Town Lakes would be the newest development following behind Plantation Lakes, which is still under construction. And with the new developments comes more concerns about an increase in traffic. But one Millsboro local knows traffic is part of a growing town, and he says he wants people to trust local and state leadership to take care of those concerns.
You got to believe in our leadership in the government and local and state that they're going to address that. And eventually, what's a headache today, what's a change today, it'll be an improvement later on. So I think it's just part of progress.
And the Millsboro Town Council is expected to review the developer's request for preliminary approval at their next meeting in March. Here's a fun story. A metal fish that eats recyclables could come to Lewis. And take a look at the prototype of the fish. It was welded by local artist Nate Landis. The fish has an opening at its mouth where the recyclables would go, and it could tip over and empty out once it's full. Lewis's city manager says they do have a recycling problem on the beaches there, and she thinks the fish would hopefully inspire people to recycle more.
Wanted it to be a fun and engaging project and something for our residents and visitors to enjoy and learn from.
But it's not official yet. The future of the fish still undecided. The assistant city manager says the Parks and Rec Commission will discuss the project again at their meeting on February 18th. In regional news, not all hope has melted away for ice skaters here on Delmarva. While the Harrington Ice Rink is still set to close after this season in May, it looks like momentum is building for a proposed Dover Civic Arena, which could potentially be the next home for local skaters. The Dover Civic Arena Group says they're working with state legislators and user groups to bring the facility to Dover by the summer of 2026. Some lawmakers say they're hoping to see a temporary rink come to Dover sooner than that.
Hopefully we'll get the blueprints in, we'll get all the stakeholders on board, we'll get the county, we'll get DNREC, we'll get DelDOT, whatever, all those places, and get them to look at these prints and to get them okayed. The quicker that is done, the quicker we can get these kids on ice.
Senator Dave Lawson says he hopes to have a temporary rink built at Schutte Park in Dover by November. While plans are still in the works, the proposed idea would be a permanent structure with a temporary rink that could later be transferred to the main Dover Civic Arena. In national news, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to immediately halt its plans to put thousands of employees at the U.S. Agency for International Development on administrative leave. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols, a President Trump appointee, stepped in and announced the temporary restraining order just hours before the embattled agency was set to put 2,200 employees on indefinite leave or fire them Friday night. Earlier in the day, signage at the USAID office in Washington, D.C. was removed, and the 2,200 employees are direct hires at USAID. Another 500 direct employees at the agency have already been placed on hold. Nichols says his order would not apply to them. Investigators have lifted the Black Hawk at the center of the fatal plane crash that killed 67 people out of the waters of the icy Potomac River near Reagan National Airport. And as NBC's Ryan Nobles reports, it comes as FAA leaders are reducing the number of flights into that busy Washington airport.
A little more than 1 week after an Army Black Hawk helicopter crashed into American Airlines Flight 5342 over the Potomac River, salvage crews lifted what is left of the chopper from the water. Jennifer Homendy, the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board, briefing members of Congress about the progress of the investigation. Senator Ted Cruz, who was at that briefing, revealing critical technology that would have allowed air traffic controllers to better track the movement of the chopper, was turned off at the time of the collision. The technology, known as Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast, or ADSB, broadcasts an aircraft's position, altitude, and speed.
In this instance, this was a training mission, so there was no compelling national security reason for ADSB to be turned off.
Some changes are already being made while the investigation continues. The FAA notifying the airline companies that traffic at busy Reagan National Airport will be reduced by 2 flights an hour out of concern for air traffic controllers. While the FAA reviews other airports with high volumes of helicopter and airplane traffic nearby. The NTSB chair saying the FAA can make changes immediately as concerns pop up in their probe.
They can see it in real time and make safety change.
Meanwhile, President Trump suggesting the aviation system is outdated without providing many examples.
We should have had better equipment. We don't. We have obsolete equipment.
His Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, floating the idea of Elon Musk coming in to revamp air traffic control systems.
I had a conversation with Elon Musk yesterday.
And the NTSB chair called the system antiquated, did not rule out taking Musk's help.
Elon Musk or anyone else can provide great ideas. I mean, they are certainly on the cutting edge of technology. Then I think that's great.
All this as officials in Wichita, where the flight originated, make plans for a permanent memorial in honor of the victims and the precious lives cut short.
That was Ryan Nobles reporting, and the FAA remains well short of the staffing levels it needs for air traffic control towers around the country. They are working to speed up the process of moving recruits through the academy, but the process is not easy, and some 30% don't make the cut. Another 30% end up quitting on the job. We do have more news to tell you about this evening. Coming up, jobs report, how the economy kicked off the year. But first, we're going to tell you all the cool things to do this weekend.
And for this weekend, the forecast, the Bay Forest, Cask, and Cambridge, we're looking for a bit of an icy mess on Saturday, particularly in the afternoon. Clearing out Sunday and Monday as Chrisfield. Rain on Saturday, but very breezy on Sunday. We have 2 storm systems I'm tracking. I have my full 7-day forecast coming up at 67.
All the natural light of the great outdoors, right in your dining room. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors. all the solitude of the outdoors without the bad Wi-Fi connection. Shell Brothers, find your great indoors.
Designed to outlast and outlive. Toyota trucks are unmatched, unstoppable, unequaled. Check out the new Land Cruiser and start your epic journey today. Outfitted with the most advanced tech and ready for anything. Hurry into your Toyota dealer now and lease a new Land Cruiser for a low $459 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, maybe you're not all that into football. It's okay, because watching the Super Bowl is not the only cool thing to do this weekend. Here's what's happening around the coast. If you like music, history, or just being outside, there's plenty of ways to make the most of your weekend. Wake up bright and early Saturday and head to Cape Henlopen State Park for Trails Day. It's a monthly event where you can do your part to help keep the state park clean and beautiful. Or head to the Milford Public Library and learn about the history of the Tuskegee Airmen. Hear stories of the pioneering black aviators, determined politicians, and far-sighted educators. In Millsboro, Mary Mother of Peace Church will be hosting a four-hand classical music concert at 4 p.m. on Sunday. If you still need to get that special someone something for Valentine's Day, in Lewis you can learn how to make a sailor's valentine at the Swanandale Museum. And don't forget, episode 3 of The Swift Effect airs at noon Saturday right here on Coast TV. For more details, head to coasttv.com and check out the Cool Things to Do article.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
Stop! Don't buy that boat till you visit Rudy Marine's Open House Sales Event, February 12th through the 22nd. Huge inventory and lower pricing than all regional boat shows. Plus, free service contract with every boat purchase. Rudy Marine's Open House Sales Event. Don't miss it.
Severe weather can take a toll on your roof. Don't wait until it's too late. Reinvest your tax refund into your most valuable asset, your home, with a new roof from Spicer Brothers. Experience unmatched protection and durability with top quality materials and expert craftsmanship you can trust.
Have total confidence in your investment with our price match guarantee and our done right guarantee. For a limited time, get 50% off installation plus financing options as low as $99 a month.
Spicer Brothers, because you deserve the best.
When choosing windows and doors for your home, at Pella, it's your choice. We manufacture maintenance-free vinyl, fiberglass, and wood-clad windows and patio doors, all with lifetime warranties. High performance, energy efficient, and loaded with options to help make your house your home. Industry-first features and benefits make living easier and increase your home's value. Visit our Experience Center or call us today to schedule your free in-home consultation, where we bring the showroom to you.
Stop! Don't buy that boat till you visit Rudy Marine's Open House Sales Event, February 12th through the 22nd. Huge inventory and lower pricing than all regional boat shows. Plus, free service contract with every boat purchase. Rudy Marine's Open House Sales Event. Don't miss it.
Brace yourself. We're watching out for another round of possible freezing rain and sleet. Ocean City, 40 degrees right now. We'll drop to 32 as early as 3 o'clock in the morning with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Winds pouring out of the north for right now, but they're going to pick up momentum. Right now, we are close to that freezing line as we speak. 35 degrees in Georgetown, Redden, Milton, and we are at freezing right now in Seaford and below freezing in Salisbury as well as Del Mar. Now, we are continuously keeping a close eye on this winter weather advisory, which is really for Kent and up towards Newcastle, but we're in the general vicinity of the cold weather, and we're looking for a significant ice storm to hit to our north, but we're on the outer edge of that, so we have a possibility of getting some of the fringes of that. There's about 2 systems that are moving in our direction. One's coming from the south, one's come directly from the west. So what are we expecting? It's a yellow alert day for tomorrow. Sleet, freezing rain, and then it turns all the way to rain. Super Bowl Sunday, not a problem. Then another storm next week kicks in Tuesday, Wednesday, and then maybe even Thursday, Friday. You see, Saturday we see just a brief showing of the pink, then the green takes over. That means we're looking for sleet briefly, followed by a lot of rain following it. Sunday, we clear totally out. Let's take a look at the southern portions of our viewing area. So we're looking at, once again, a little bit of pink briefly, then we come back with the green, and then we are clear. That's how things are going to be shaping up for us. And then that next week, we're looking at, hey, we'll see Saturday, Sunday pushes through, and then we're looking for Tuesday with more rain with a mix that's going to begin to pay us a visit as well. Finally, here's a look at your extended forecast.
Looks good. All right. Thank you for that, Paul. Well, Labor Department data released Friday shows the U.S. economy started the year by adding 143,000 jobs last month. That was fewer than expected, but the unemployment rate ticked down to 4%. Economists expected the unemployment rate to remain at 4.1% and 170,000 jobs to be added. Cold and severe weather, as well as the Southern California wildfires, were expected to be influential factors on January's report. However, officials said they had no discernible effect on payroll, earnings, hours worked, or the unemployment rate. The Trump administration is now suspending the Biden administration's electric vehicle charging program. The Transportation Department says the $5 billion bipartisan grant program is effectively frozen. That means no federal grant money will go to states that were approved to build EV charging stations. The plans to build out charging networks were originally approved by the Biden administration. The new administration plans to issue its own guidance sometime this spring. The original initiative was part of President Biden's climate and clean energy policies to get more electric vehicles on the road. Coming up in sports, Super Bowl 59 just 2 days away. Hear from Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts ahead of the big game. And coming up, a heartwarming story of Eagles pride as traditions are passed down through generations.
And we're taking a look at our beach forecast for Assateague and Chincoteague with scattered showers on Saturday. And we're looking at it staying a bit messy for Fenwick Island, Ocean City, as well as on Saturday, a bit messy in Lewis and Rehoboth.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
This February, fall in love with safety and reliability because at Gateway Subaru, we believe love means keeping you safe. From rain and snow to sunny skies, Subaru's legendary symmetrical all-wheel drive has you covered through any weather. Right now, take home a new 2025 Subaru Outback and take advantage of great financing rates as low as 1.9%. Stop by today to pre-order the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid, designed for tomorrow. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards. Is your garage door in need of an upgrade or a repair? Then Clark & Sons Garage Doors can help. We believe your garage door should be more than just functional. It should be a reflection of your personality and style. With over 60 years serving the entire Delmarva Peninsula, Clark & Sons delivers quality craftsmanship and exceptional service every time. We provide free estimates on new garage doors. Plus, we offer comprehensive maintenance services to ensure your garage door stays in perfect working condition. So call today and discover why Clark & Sons is the name you can trust.
Over 50 years ago, JD Asphalt was built on strong family values and a commitment to quality. For 3 generations, we've stayed true to those principles, delivering friendly service and fast premium results that's built to last. Growing up, my dad showed me what it takes to be the best. And now I'm passing the same knowledge on to my kids, ensuring our commitment to quality lives on. JD Asphalt, quality paving, family owned and trusted for over 50 years.
In your home, every drop of water matters. It's not just H2O, it's health and home comfort. At FH we take your plumbing personally. For just $29, let us be your home's water experts. We'll scrutinize every pipe to ensure reliability and purity right from the tap. Because we believe water is the lifeblood of your home, we're adding a free water quality test, ensuring your water is as clean and as safe as possible.
Call FHFur.com.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce. But don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a prim.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
The anticipation for Sunday's Super Bowl could not be higher, and for the large flock of Philly fans here on Delmarva, it's all pins and needles right now. But that's the great thing about sports, isn't it? The excitement that it instills in bringing people together, like the Johnson family, who are Eagle Green through and through. They have a tradition passed down from father to sons.
He would love to be here to see it.
David and Michael Johnson are Eagles fans.
He's here though. Yeah. He's gonna be watching.
But somehow that word fan just doesn't quite capture the depth of it. They have an entire fan cave filled with Eagles stuff. They have tattoos, replica Super Bowl rings. They even have a Lombardi trophy. And as is the case for a lot of people, their fandom is deeper than wins, losses, and what happens on the field every Sunday. It's been a unifying thread of a family.
And this is me, my brother, and my father. Eagles training came up in Lehigh, when he headed up in Lehigh.
Sports is how the Johnson brothers bonded with their father.
Well, he took us to our first game, and we were about 10 years old or so, and we loved it up in Philly.
Don Johnson was a man who took his football seriously.
He was a diehard. Yep. Sundays was for the Eagles. Don't call him. Yep. Don't come to the door on Sundays.
No talking during the game.
He's watching football.
With that kind of fervent fandom embedded in his soul, it's no surprise how Don Johnson reacted the last time Philly won the big game back in 2018.
I've never seen my dad cry, and that was the first time I ever seen him cry.
Sadly, the patriarch of the family passed away 2 years ago, but one doesn't just leave their hard-earned fandom at the end of this mortal coil we all call life.
Well, before he passed, he always said, look, when I die, I want you to bury me in my Eagles gear. Yeah. And before they closed my casket, I want everybody to sing the Eagles fight song.
And we sung it.
And we want everybody to show up in their favorite football attire. And that's what we did.
Yeah. We did, yeah, we sung it. Everybody sung.
Given everything we've reported about the Johnson family, you already know who they're rooting for and who they think is going to win. And you might be able to guess how they'll react if they do.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah, we might cry. If we don't cry, we'll be close to crying.
Because sometimes the outcome of a game, played by grown adults, broadcast around the world, is the thing that brings a family together.
You got the best seat in the house.
Yeah, he does.
Charlie Sakaitis, CoastTV News.
And this Sunday's game between Philly and Kansas City is a rematch of the 2023 Super Bowl. Here's DSN's Tim Nolan with a preview.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
This time, 48 hours from now, you Eagles fans are going to be feeling all sorts of emotions. Let's see how the Birds are holding up ahead of Super Bowl 59. Philly boasts the #1 scoring defense in all of football. Vic Fangio's group allows fewer than 18 points per game and had 26 takeaways this season. On the other side of the ball, KC has to deal with running back Saquon Barkley, who was named NFL Offensive Player of the Year last night. Well, both Fangio and Barkley weren't around the last time Philly met the Chiefs in the big game. Quarterback Jalen Hurts says the Eagles' adaptability put this new group right back in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've always said that every team is different, and I think personally and individually for all the guys on the team, every year requires a different version of that player. And for us, we've got a ton of different players on our team. We got a lot of young players starring and playing pivotal roles and everything. And so you just have to navigate that and find your way as a team for that year. And so we've been able to play disciplined ball. We've been able to play ball and be on the same page and find ways to win. And we're just looking forward to doing that one more time.
As for our big game tomorrow, tune into DSN at 11 a.m. for Salisbury men's lacrosse in Baltimore. The Seagulls play Grove City College at Under Armour Stadium. Again, our coverage begins at 10:55.
Up next, a Tigers take on the Super Bowl. See who this big cat is backing.
Late Night with Seth Meyers. Late nights on CoastTV.
Accidents happen when you least expect them. Big or small, when accidents strike, things can get a little complicated. This is where the law office of Trap-Nickel steps in. Our experienced team fights for your rights, turning tough situations into significant compensation. If you've suffered an injury, claim the justice you're entitled to. The law office of Trap-Nickel. Your priority is our priority.
Your child deserves the best. When your child is sick, every moment counts. And the team at Tidal Health Pediatrics understands the urgency of such situations. Whether it's a sudden fever, a troubling cough, or another pediatric ailment, your child will be seen when they need it most. Schedule your child's appointment now at tidalhealth.org/findapediatrician or call 410-912-5785 because your child's health is our top priority. Tidal Health Pediatrics, compassionate care when you need it most.
Monday at 4 on Coast Life. Explore the first building in Delaware and step back in time in the first town. Then we're giving you a sneak peek at an upcoming wedding expo filled with the latest trends. Monday at 4 on Coast TV.
When seasons change, the unexpected can happen. If your home or business has suffered from fire, water, or storm damage, let the professionals at the Restoration Group give you the peace of mind you're looking for. TRG's certified restoration technicians and construction teams will guide you through the process from initial damage through complete reconstruction. If the unexpected happens to your home or business, call the Restoration Group today for all your fire, water, or storm damage needs.
Disasters are temporary, relationships are lasting.
We're gonna need to replace your whole system to fix this.
That's a little extreme.
That won't be necessary. We just need to change a few parts.
At Paradise Plumbing, we never push for unnecessary repairs, just simple solutions. We're locally owned and operated with over 20 years in business. Whether you're in need of repairs or installation, we offer a wide range of services for your home or business to get your water running smoothly.
When plumbing problems arise,
find peace with Paradise.
Get the Coast TV News app, the latest and most up-to-date stories for your coastal community. Coastal news customized to your needs. Download the Coast TV News app on your Apple or Android devices. Coast TV, our community, your news.
Everyone's getting ready for the Super Bowl, and everyone is making their predictions of who's going to win. Well, over at Iowa's Blank Park Zoo, they left the predictions up to this tiger named Misha, and she's calling for a three-peat. The 13-year-old tiger was offered 2 treat-filled boxes decorated for each team. Misha sniffed the boxes and then devoured the Chiefs box, signifying her pick. And I'm very sorry for all the Eagles fans out there, but officials at the zoo say that their animals have a pretty good track record of picking the winners, getting it right 11 out of 14 times.
Well, let's take a look at our Bay Health camera in Milford. We're at 34 degrees. We're watching out for the threat of some wintry weather for Saturday afternoon, lunchtime to about, let's say, 5 o'clock. But we are going to see the temperatures set the stage properly for us at 3 o'clock. Partly cloudy skies dropping down to 29 degrees. A winter weather advisory is going to be into effect for us, so we want to be mindful of that. By the way, our umbrella winner, Harriet Blakeley of Parsonsburg, Maryland. Congratulations. You keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. So our forecast, 28 degrees for tonight, clear early, clouds late, winds out of the north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tomorrow, we're looking for an afternoon wintry mix, kicking in by lunchtime, 12 noon, probably lasting until about 3 to 4 o'clock, and then it'll change over to rain, cold rain, because we'll be just above freezing where we won't see that mix anymore. Turns to cold rain, and winds will shift out of the east. For Sunday, Super Sunday, we're expecting the sunshine, and we'll rebound back to seasonable temperatures, 45 degrees, but it's going to be a little bit on the breezy side. And then finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Now, we are calling for a yellow alert day for Saturday, okay? 36 degrees. The Eagles, despite what the Tiger says, going to win on Sunday. So Monday, we're looking at 43 degrees. We're going to drop again on Tuesday, watching out for another yellow alert day. We may have to issue some more yellow alert days, but for the most part, we're just going to stay pretty close to seasonal and then slightly below that in some cases.
Okay, thanks again, Paul. And thanks to you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For some more local news and local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Coast TV News at 6 p.m. Have a great night.